Imagine the entire world is considering electric vehicles, EVs, as the future, and on the other hand, the CEO of Mazda makes a significant statement. Their new rotary engine will shake up the entire electric vehicle industry. Hearing this feels like a jolt of electricity runs through the air. As soon as the name rotary engine is mentioned, people envision power, speed, and innovation. Now Mazda claims their engine will be more robust, economical, and powerful than EVs. This means the industry, once considered invincible, is suddenly faced with a new challenge. This is not just an engine but a revolution that could change the entire game in the world of vehicles. On one hand, the tension surrounding charging stations, the high cost of batteries, and range limitations remain unsolved. On the other hand, Mazda has put its full faith in its rotary engine. The question arises whether this will truly shake up the future of electric cars or if EV companies will find a solution to this as well. What technology is used in this engine, and why is there so much commotion about it? The history and identity of the rotary engine are noteworthy. When most people think of car engines, they imagine a piston engine with cylinders where the piston moves up and down to produce power. But in the world of cars, an engine emerged that broke this tradition, the rotary engine. The first name that comes to mind regarding rotary engines is Mazda, the company that gave this engine a new identity and showed the world that cars are not limited to piston engines. The rotary engine began in the 1950s to 1960s. It is also called the Wankel engine because it was designed by German engineer Felix Wankel. This engine looks simple, but its way of working is unique. It has no pistons moving up and down, nor any heavy parts. Instead, it has a triangular rotor that rotates round and round to produce power, which is why it is called rotary. Mazda adopted this engine and gave it a life that surprised the world. In the 1970s and 80s, Mazda started using this engine in its sports cars, particularly models like the RX-7 and later the RX-8, which gave the rotary engine an iconic identity. The RX-7 remains a dream for car lovers due to its sleek design, light body, and the distinct sound of the rotary engine, making it a cult classic. The rotary engine is considered different from other engines for several reasons. First is its smoothness. Because it lacks the up-down motion of a piston, the engine is very smooth and rev-friendly, providing power without interruption as you press the accelerator. The second is its compact size. A small rotary engine can deliver the same power as a larger piston engine, which is why Mazda's RX series cars were light and fast. The third, and perhaps biggest feature, is its sound. The high-pitched whine and sporty sound of the rotary engine made car enthusiasts crazy. Many people say the real fun of driving an RX-7 or RX-8 is hidden in the sound of its engine, which is why even today, people get excited when an RX-7 enters car meets or racing tracks. However, there were challenges with the rotary engine. The biggest problem was its fuel efficiency. It delivered tremendous power but consumed a lot of petrol. The second problem was reliability. It often broke down after running for long periods, and maintenance was expensive. The third major problem was emissions. When strict emission norms for vehicles were introduced worldwide, the rotary engine was left behind. This is why auto companies gradually abandoned it, and Mazda discontinued it after the RX-8. Despite this, the story of the rotary engine did not end. Its place in car culture remains that of a superstar, especially in Japanese car culture and the tuning community, where the RX-7 is considered a legend. People still buy used RX-7s, modify them, install turbos, and run them on tracks, making the rotary engine immortal even in death. Mazda never completely said goodbye to it. In recent years, the company has tried to revive it. In 2023, they launched a hybrid car, the Mazda MX-30, in which the rotary engine was used as a range extender. When the battery runs out, the rotary engine starts and gives the car extra range. This shows that Mazda not only sees the rotary engine as its heritage, but also wants to keep it alive in some form in the future. Now, consider the features of the new rotary engine. The rotary engine that people had considered old is back in the news. Mazda has revived it, but this time in a smarter, more powerful, and economical form. What new technology is installed in it that makes it such a significant player against electric vehicles? First, Mazda did not leave the rotary engine alone but linked it with a hybrid and range extender system. Now, this engine does not directly power the wheels but charges the battery and helps the car cover long distances. This has two advantages. There is less pressure on the engine, and the car's range increases significantly. This directly attacks the biggest problem of the EV industry: range. Additionally, the new rotary engine is very small and light. Compared to piston engines, it is compact, and Mazda has used high-efficiency fuel injection and modern cooling technology, meaning it can produce more power while burning less petrol. The biggest complaint about old rotary engines was their high fuel consumption, but Mazda has tried to overcome that weakness. The third and perhaps most significant aspect is smoothness and performance. The design of the rotary engine means no pistons move up and down, resulting in very little vibration and smooth operation even at high RPM. EVs are also smooth, but they lack the thrill of an engine, the fun of driving, the sound, and the adrenaline rush. Mazda claims the new rotary engine will give drivers the same excitement found in a real sports car. Now, let's talk about being economical. The biggest problem with EVs is the battery. About 40% of an electric car's cost goes toward the battery. These batteries are not only expensive but also heavy. Moreover, charging infrastructure is not available everywhere. In such a situation, Mazda's rotary engine presents a balanced solution. This engine is small, cheap to make, and not as expensive as batteries. Mazda states that their cars will be cheaper than EVs and more comfortable to drive. Mazda has also installed low-emission technology. Previously, the rotary engine emitted more smoke, but now the company has added a new catalytic converter and clean burning system, making this engine cleaner and greener. Another interesting feature is that Mazda says the new rotary engine will come with fuel flexibility, meaning it can run not only on petrol but also on biofuel or synthetic fuel. If this happens, it will become an even bigger challenge for EVs because the engine will be compatible with future fuel technology. Now, imagine a small engine that can give you long range, more power, and fun at a low cost. Will people run toward EVs or return to Mazda? This is why the company is so confident. Even today, questions about battery life, charging time, and infrastructure remain unanswered for EVs. Meanwhile, Mazda claims their new rotary engine will eliminate all these hassles. Regarding the driving experience, Mazda's rotary engine has always been a symbol of pure driving. Cars like the RX-7 and RX-8 made people realize that a car is not just a means to go from point A to point B but a passion. The new rotary engine will carry forward that legacy and provide the real fun of driving, which battery-powered cars cannot offer. The current challenges of the EV industry are significant. Electric vehicles are being discussed everywhere these days. Governments claim they are the future, companies are launching new models, and advertisements suggest driving an EV is the smartest decision. But the ground reality is different. There are many challenges related to EVs that make people think twice before buying one. The biggest challenge is charging infrastructure. Petrol pumps are available on every street and intersection, but EV charging stations are still scarce, especially in small towns and villages. People fear what will happen if the battery runs out in the middle of the road. This is why many say EVs are not yet reliable for long journeys. The second big problem is the cost of the battery. The most expensive component in an electric car is its battery, accounting for about 40% of the total cost. If the battery gets damaged or needs replacement, it becomes a huge financial burden. Many people hesitate to buy an EV due to concerns about the battery's longevity. Additionally, materials like lithium and cobalt used in making batteries are expensive, and their supply chain is unstable. Range anxiety is another major issue. Even though EV companies claim a range of 400 to 500 kilometers, in reality, the car may not cover that distance due to factors like air conditioning, traffic, or cold weather. This constant fear that the car may stop midway is called range anxiety and remains the biggest challenge for the EV industry. When people buy a new car, they seek reliability and comfort, the assurance that the car will take them anywhere without trouble. This trust has not been fully established with EVs. Charging time is another concern. It takes no more than 5 minutes to refuel a petrol or diesel car, but charging an EV can take anywhere from 30 minutes to several hours. For those who travel long distances daily, this becomes a significant problem. While fast chargers are emerging, their numbers are limited and they are expensive. Maintenance and repair are also concerning. EV technology is new, and not every mechanic knows how to repair it. Issues with the battery or motor often require a visit to the company's service center, which can be costly. This makes customers hesitant. Then there is the matter of resale value. People wonder if they will get a good price when selling an EV after a few years. Battery degradation is a significant problem. As the battery ages, its capacity decreases, reducing the vehicle's range and making buyers unwilling to pay a high price. The challenges of EVs exist at three levels: lack of infrastructure, price concerns, and lack of trust. This is why many people are still hesitant to buy an EV and prefer to wait for improvements in technology and infrastructure. EV companies are trying to find solutions. Charging stations are being built rapidly, battery prices are gradually decreasing, and new technology is improving range. But all this will take time. This is the window where brands like Mazda are offering their new rotary engine as an option. Until the challenges of EVs are completely solved, people will look for alternative solutions. The reaction of the global auto industry has been significant. When Mazda's CEO stated that their new rotary engine would shake up the entire EV industry, the automobile world was stirred. This statement was not just a display of confidence but a direct challenge to big companies ruling the EV market today, such as Tesla and BYD. Tesla is considered the king of the EV industry, with its ecosystem of battery technology, charging network, and software. Mazda's rotary engine does not directly shake this ecosystem, but it offers customers a new option. If people start considering cars that run without charging stations and battery concerns, Tesla's monopoly could be affected. BYD, the Chinese company that has become a major force in the EV market, could also face challenges. BYD's advantage lies in low prices and long range, but if Mazda's vehicles are cheaper and more economical, BYD's low-cost models could be directly affected. For companies like Toyota and Honda, which are behind in the EV race, Mazda's rotary engine could provide relief. Toyota has always maintained that EVs are not the only future and has been working on hydrogen, hybrid, and other technologies. Mazda's success could reinforce Toyota's belief in alternative paths. Honda, known for its engineering and innovation, might find inspiration in Mazda's approach to keeping traditional engines alive. European companies like BMW, Mercedes, and Audi are focusing mostly on EVs, but Mazda's move will force them to reconsider. In Europe, EV infrastructure is still developing, and battery prices are high. If Mazda's rotary engine cars offer more range at a lower price, German companies may need to adjust their strategies. Mazda's statement serves as a wake-up call for the entire global auto industry. Companies like Tesla and BYD may see it as a threat, while others like Toyota and Honda may view it as an opportunity. Mazda's confidence in the face of the EV revolution is surprising. The company openly claims that their new rotary engine can become a real alternative to electric vehicles. This confidence stems from the belief that the weaknesses of EVs, expensive batteries, incomplete charging infrastructure, and range anxiety have not been resolved. Mazda pitches its rotary engine as a solution: small, economical, and capable of covering long distances without battery concerns. The company takes pride in its engineering heritage, with the rotary engine being a core part of its identity. Cars like the RX-7 and RX-8 demonstrated Mazda's innovative spirit, and now, with new technology and high efficiency, they believe it will win customers' hearts again. Mazda's strategy is clear. They do not want to jump straight into the EV race, but instead take a different approach by addressing the weaknesses of EVs. This smart move sets them apart from the crowd. Currently, Mazda is focusing on hybrid and range extender cars, combining battery power with the rotary engine. This offers the best of both worlds: clean energy from EVs and reliable performance from the engine. Additionally, Mazda plans to enter the affordable segment, attracting customers who want EVs but are held back by budget constraints. The company also considers diversity in the global market. Not every country is equal in adopting EVs. While Europe and China are ahead, markets like India, Southeast Asia, and Africa lag in charging infrastructure. Mazda's rotary engine could be perfect for these countries, strengthening its hold where EVs are still a dream. Mazda's long-term vision includes preparing the engine for future biofuels and synthetic fuels, ensuring compatibility with new fuel technologies in the coming years. From a customer's perspective, the benefits are clear. The first benefit is price. EVs are often unaffordable due to high battery costs, but Mazda's rotary engine is compact, lightweight, and cheap to manufacture, making their vehicles more affordable. The second benefit is mileage and convenience. Range anxiety is eliminated with the rotary engine, as customers can refuel with petrol or biofuel and travel long distances without worry. Mazda has made the engine more efficient, providing more power with less fuel. Long-term use is another advantage. Battery degradation is a significant concern in EVs, but with rotary engines, servicing costs are much lower than battery replacement. Customers also get the real fun of driving, the sound, response, and smooth power delivery that EVs lack. For those who buy a car for passion, not just convenience, this engine is a major plus. Regarding environment and sustainability, Mazda claims the new engine is cleaner and more efficient, with advanced catalytic converters and clean burning systems reducing emissions. The engine's compatibility with biofuels and synthetic fuels could make it more environmentally friendly than conventional petrol engines. However, it must be acknowledged that the rotary engine still burns fuel, meaning carbon emissions are not entirely eliminated. While EVs produce zero emissions while running, the production of their batteries involves pollution and mining issues. If the rotary engine runs on biofuels, it could become a strong alternative to EVs. The biggest question remains: will Mazda truly shake up the EV industry? Will its new rotary engine pull people away from EVs and change the entire automobile world? Or will big companies like Tesla and BYD find solutions to these challenges and maintain their hold? Only time will tell whether the old but new power of the rotary engine or the fast-growing revolution of EVs will prevail. One thing is certain: the world of automobiles is going to become even more exciting.